Hello friends, we're going to be looking at the mean, median, and mode of data sets. So I wanted to start off with this little example from Khan Academy because I liked it. I thought it did a good job of explaining what mean actually means. The mean of a data set is its average value. So in this case, we have 4 girls with some cookies. Claire has 5 cookies, Brooke has 3 cookies, Deandra has 6 cookies, and Lucy has 2 cookies. We want to find the mean number of cookies. We have a picture that very clearly shows how many cookies they have, but to find the mean, we want to actually combine all their cookies into one big pile, and then they'll each take the same number of cookies. In this case, 4. So our mean is 4 cookies. We find the mean by combining all of the data values and dividing them equally, because division is putting things into equal parts. To find the number of cookies that they're all going to be able to get, we'll need to divide by how many girls there are. So with that in mind, gotta switch displays. There we go. We want to find the mean, median, mode, range, quartiles, and interquartile range of this data set. Now I will say that we're only going to focus today on mean, median, and mode. We'll get to range, quartiles, and interquartile range in another video. So mean, as we said, is the average value. We have to add up all the things and divide by how many there are. So mean, a more mathematical way of saying it is it's the sum of the data values divided by the number of data values. So in this case, we'll need to add all of our data values. So 3 plus 8 plus 1 plus 5 plus 4 plus 9 plus 10 plus 1 plus 6 plus 3, and divide by how many there are, which there are 10. So that gets us a mean of, well, all that adds up to 50 divided by 10 gets us a mean of 5. Now median, we have to do something a little different. The median is the exact middle value of a data set. In order to do that, in order to find the median and some of the other things that we're going to need to look for in data sets, we need to put the data set in order from least to greatest. This is an extremely important step when finding the median, the mode, the range, the quartiles, and the interquartile range. So to do this, we'll just start from the beginning. We've got 1 is our smallest number. Oops. That's slightly out of view. There we go. 1. And I'm going to cross off each of our numbers as we go to make sure I didn't miss anything. So 1, 1. 3 is the next smallest, then another 3. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So now our data is in order of least to greatest. So I'm actually going to start with mode because that's a little bit easier to find than median. Mode is just the most common value, or most frequently seen. And mode is the only one where we can have more than one, or we can have none, depending on the data set that we have. In this case, we have 2 1s and 2 3s, and 1 of everything else. So that means that our mode is both 1 and 3, because there's more of those than there are of anything else. And then finally now to the median. So the median is the exact middle value, and the way that we're going to find this is basically crossing off values that definitely aren't the middle until we get to the middle. So I'll start with the smallest and the largest, then the next smallest, the next largest, and so on. But now it looks like I've crossed off every number, and that's not what I want. So that means that our median actually isn't one of the numbers in our data set. It's actually kind of between the last two numbers that I crossed off. So it's somewhere between, or it's exactly between 4 and 5. This is going to happen when we have an equal number of data values in our data set. And all that means that we have to do is find the average of those two values, find what's exactly in the middle of them. So you probably know what's exactly in the middle of 4 and 5, but in case you have weirder numbers at some point, you're going to add the two numbers together. So 4 plus 5 is 9, and then you're going to divide by 2. So our median here is 4.5. Now frequently, your mean and your median are going to be pretty close. Sometimes you'll have some weird data values wherein they're very different from each other, but our median is 4.5, our mean is 5, so that seems pretty reasonable. Just to make sure we've got everything that we need, I've got another example here. So again, find the mean, median, mode, range, quartiles, and interquartile range of the following data set. And again, we're only going to worry about the first 3 for this video. So I'm actually going to go and put the data set in order from the start, just to get it out of the way. So it looks like our smallest is 6 here, then 7, then 2 8s, and then 3 10s. All right. So we can still find mean first, because that's usually the first one that people say. So again, mean is the sum of the data divided by the number of data values. In this case, let's see, 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 gets us 59. And then there are 7 data values, so we're going to divide. And that's not a very nice number, but that's okay because we can round it. I typically round to 2 decimal places. So I get 8.42857. So 8.43 because I got 8.42857, etc. That 8 will bump that 2 up to a 3. So I'll say that our mean is 8.43 because that's a good enough estimate. Then we can find our median by, again, doing our cross-off thing to find the middle. So 6, 10, 7, 10, 8, 10. And now this time we are left with one value in the middle because we had an odd number of data values in our data set. When you have an even number, you'll have to add and divide by 2. When you have an odd number of data values, you'll have a middle value. And then finally, our mode. Let's see, we've got 1 6, 1 7, 2 8s, and 3 10s. So that'll be 10 because that is the most frequently seen value. All right, I'll see you in the next one.